All right, some guy and John. Yep. I'm John.
I'm Guy.
Some guy.
This is the guy, yes. And we've got...
Go ahead.
I'm Joel.
Joel's here. Who's very, very excited to be here.
A new challenger rises. I'm Steven, by the way. Hi, how's it going?
And I'm Adam. Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
by
Rachel's
the way,
here again.
Rachel's here again.
She's not quite sure why she does this to herself.
She's really not, is she?
No one understands why they do all these painful things to themselves, but we just do it. It's part of life.
I see what you did there.
Nice.
I brought a board game with us. Who wants to be blue?
Which game would that be?
In case
Life.
anyone missed
Wow, well, you know what?
Steven's really heavy-handed joke there.
Well, don't worry. Well, before we get to the board game and talk about philosophical questions about our own lives, I think we all might enjoy a snack. I brought a cereal with me to complement that board game we're doing.
Jeez.
Guess which cereal it is.
Where's Mikey?
Ooh, kick. Yeah, kicks. Tricks.
No. All of them wrong.
Corn Pops?
That's right.
Yay!
No, I'm just kidding. It was Fruit Loops. But anyway, I got a box of Life in the corner if anybody wants, because I eat all the Fruit Loops. Anyway, we should probably talk about the movie that we all kind of saw, which was
Yeah,
Let's
Life.
do it.
Life, which literally opens the door up to be a movie about fucking anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Super vague
Not
title.
taking any chances with the title there.
Why did they make the movie 42 minutes long?
Yeah.
Because of all those costly effects. Because Jake Gyllenhaal is really expensive for some reason.
Or
Probably because
maybe like
what?
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. His
Yeah.
his salary has to have gone up
Yeah.
since Deadpool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's,
Well, we saw Life.
Ryan Reynolds is just like realistic Deadpool in this movie. Yeah.
Well, he's just kind of like, this is my job now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean,
telling me how to do
the
it.
movie could be about anything, but I mean, according to IMDb, it's about a team of scientists aboard the International Space Station that discover a rapidly evolving life form and that caused possibly the extinction of Mars, and now it threatens the crew of the ISS and possibly all of life on Earth.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. That takes us through countless. Hey, do you remember what happened this time? And who is this guy's name?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna read off the IMDb one, which is something I'm gonna end up probably rereading when I go crawling through for fun factoids about this movie.
IMDb is one of the oldest websites in the world.
There's another fun fact. I bet that was
Okay.
not on the IMDb Life page, but it is on the Wikipedia page, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you to look that up. You're becoming my new
So-
Wikipedia pro.
My research.
There you go. So, yes, Rachel, go ahead, lead us in.
Oh, I was just pulling us back on target.
Yeah, go ahead.
Which is, if I am correct, the quick summary part.
Yes. The
Okay.
non-spoiler summary.
Okay, so the
I thought I just
non-spoiler
did.
summary. Well,
We can talk about how we felt about
All
the
right,
movie
Rachel, you
instead of
feel-
It's
the
like,
non-spoiler
hey,
summary.
did you see Alien?
Hey,
Then you've
much.
seen Life.
yeah, hey, did you see Deep Blue Sea? Yeah, then
Yeah.
you saw
Seen
Life.
Life.
Hey, did you see Deep Star 6? Hey, did you see all of these other movies?
yeah.
See
Hey,
Have you
Sun.
seen
Sun
Invasion of
so
the
much.
Body Snatchers?
yeah.
You've seen
Yeah.
Life. Well, Rachel, why don't you take us through it?
Okay, so
The basic
summary,
synopsis.
John read off IMDb, isn't that far off. Possibly because the movie isn't really long enough to justify having a longer summary than that.
Yeah.
Or it has enough substance to justify a longer summary than that. But it's, like John said, astronauts on the International Space Station receiving a
Samples,
sample from Mars,
yeah.
the first sample to actually return from Mars. They give it life, or they, give it the environment.
They find a single cell organism and
Yeah.
they do experiments and it comes to life and then it
and
takes
it's
off
dangerous
from there.
and
Yeah.
awful and terrible.
Yeah.
It is super overpowered.
It is super
Yeah,
overpowering,
super- yeah.
super smart, super
Yeah.
fast growing,
And kind of a dick, too.
and kind of a dick.
Well, it's smart once, and then the rest of the time it's just a dumb stalker.
Well,
We'll get to that.
we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Right now we're
Yeah.
doing synopsis.
Yeah.
Rachel,
it
stay on
is
target.
sort of hard to figure out, like, what it's like. Sort of the wait, did it intend to?
Yeah,
do this?
no, and I'll come back to that, and I think I know what you're talking about,
Yeah.
but that's outside of the scope of the non-spoiler summary.
I mean, like,
Right.
So-
that is a spoiler element, but all throughout the play. Theater, sorry.
Yeah.
All
Theater
throughout,
nerd. Theater nerd.
all throughout the movie,
Yeah.
there is so many moments of just like,
did it mean to do
Yeah.
that?
or did it just get lucky?
Did it just
Yeah,
get lucky?
yeah.
What? To quote a great quote for planes, trains, and automobiles. What did it mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What was the point?
Have a point. It makes it
So
much
much more
better for the
audience.
Yeah.
Back on point.
So that's, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if there's much more to the summary than
And
that.
and it's like,
Sadly, that was
Yeah,
that
yeah.
kind of wraps it
I mean,
up.
that's kind of it.
It's kind of a slasher movie in space that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
It's
Now
it's a-
we
it's a
we
standard
did a
monster
little
movie,
bit.
pretty
I
much.
mean, like,
We did a
I'll
little
say-
bit of independent research after we left the theater.
Not much. but
Not
a little.
much, but just one little key thing that I don't know about Rachel, but at least it was gnawing on me a little bit. So we went to the IMDb page to just kind of at least give us some guidance about what the hell this movie was, because we were kind of going back and forth. Is it really more of a horror movie? Is it really more of a sci-fi movie? It's not much of a sci-fi movie if it's a sci-fi movie.
It's kind
but the
of a
horror part of it
suspense thriller
is
movie.
very.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
It's pretty easy to hypothesize. Oh, I think this person's going to do that. Oh, look, that person did exactly what I thought they were going to do.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's kinda predictable.
It never quite got to the point where you're just like, well, actually, except there was maybe one point, but it usually didn't get to the point where you're just throwing up your hands, or like,
Right.
oh, for heaven's
Right,
sake.
I mean, I could.
They're fairly intelligent people.
Right, but I
They
mean,
never do
For the
something.
most part.
For the most
I could have
part.
They're
landed.
scientists.
I could have
Yeah,
landed
well.
on it being just calling it a thriller,
Yeah.
but we looked at just the order of how this was.
Or it's tagged on IMDb. The genre is tagged first as a horror,
First a horror,
then science fiction,
then science fiction,
Yeah.
then
a
a thriller. So
Which
really,
we sort of agreed is pretty
yeah,
apt.
Yeah,
it's,
that-
pretty,
yeah.
it's
more
more,
or
of a horror movie than it is a science fiction movie.
Yeah.
And it's more of a science fiction movie than it is a thriller. I think IMDb did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
Just putting that in order, because it's small, but it actually kind of gives you a window into what
Yeah.
this movie kind of is. You know, like Apollo 18. That's a horror movie.
Oh, that's a great horror movie.
If you try to call it a sci-fi movie, I'm gonna kind of like not take that.
No.
I'm not gonna take that remark seriously. It's not. If that's a shitty sci-fi movie, it's a
Well,
sci-fi
I
movie.
disagree with that.
It's actually a half decent horror movie if
Yeah.
you just call it a horror movie. As soon as you call it a sci-fi horror movie, it sucks. Just call it a horror movie. It's a half decent movie.
Yeah, and having worked at
so
a video
Apollo-
shop, you got to say horror sci-fi.
Wait, was it Apollo 7?
Apollo 18.
Apollo 18, the
mission
unknown
that never
mission.
happened.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
yeah.
I
That's the one
was,
where they-
I was mixed up. I was thinking of, like, I think it was Apollo 13.
Oh no, that's the one they don't
Yeah.
tell the public about because they landed and they found
Yeah,
moon
yeah.
monsters and shit.
Yeah.
There's a
because
great movie
I
that-
was just about to say, like,
But-
wait a minute, I'm pretty sure
Right.
that's the whole movie with Tom Hanks.
Oh yeah,
It's
and
not
that's
really
the one
horror
where
movie.
That's
the
Apollo
Russians
13.
made it to
Yeah.
the moon too.
Right, and I did
Yeah.
really like that.
That was
It
Okay,
really
shows-
cool,
but
yeah.
that's not the movie we're talking
No,
about.
it's not.
'Cause that's how-
But the point is,
yeah.
that was a horror movie first, sci-fi
Yeah.
movie. I
And
don't even
fun-
really want to
and,
call
like,
it.
it is
This
pretty-
movie
yeah,
was
it-
horror movie first, sci-fi
Sci-fi,
second, thriller last.
Yeah.
That really does sum it up. IMDb did a really good job.
Because there was
with
a,
that.
there was a lot of science in this, but there was a lot of, unfortunately, just like most horror movies, dumb scientists.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, there was, dumb
also,
science.
There was also
There
just
was
a lot
dumb
of
science.
hand waving, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh well, science says this X should
Yeah.
happen. Oh, X doesn't happen.
It was dumb science.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
know. I
Yeah,
guess
yeah.
it's
So,
special.
this movie-
It's sort of
Yeah.
it's kind of like the hand wavium
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Right,
Yeah.
like, let's adjust the
It- it-
atmosphere
it just-
and introduce this.
it-
What
it's
does that do? I don't know, but let's just see what happens.
It,
What
does,
the
it does
fuck?
that.
Yeah.
Like, you're no scientist.
Yeah.
Let's zap it. We'll just
Yeah.
see what happens. Wait,
this-
that's not very scientific. You got to use a scientific method.
I
Well,
know.
I didn't zap it before. I'm
I-
going to zap it now. Let's see what happens. There, enough of a method for you?
Let-
Let's
let's-
see what happens when I poke it with my
Right.
finger.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's a good
Yeah,
scientific
so-
method.
Say-
I
Poke
would
it
have,
with my
I would have,
finger.
I would have
Wait.
preferred just to bring it down to the level of professionalism here that we're dealing with. If you didn't use a finger, if you just used a stick, I mean, if they had a twig on the ISS,
Poke it with a stick.
just so they could, somebody could
like,
document.
Could
then
they afford a robotic arm?
I just
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
just so.
Wait.
I just want to see somebody document
Let's-
2100 hours, poked it with a stick.
Let's
2105, we're all
skip,
dying.
let's skip up into spoilers so we can get into all
yeah.
the
There's
parts
really
that are
a
off
really
the
important
movie.
line
Yeah.
in the first about 10 minutes. Well, the characters say we have to forget the scientific method when dealing with this.
Yeah, there's
You're almost verbatim.
well, there's nothing to compare this to. We don't know how.
Yeah, he says we have no control.
We have
Yeah.
we have no control, so
he
forget
said
the
there's-
scientific method.
Right, there's no control to this, which is total bullshit. Total
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Like nobody on Earth has ever discovered a new form of life that they've never seen before.
And I
Yeah.
mean, like,
That's total horse shit.
Yeah, like,
That's
like,
total
hey,
bullshit.
They find them all the time at the bottom of the sea.
Right.
Yeah.
In
There's a pretty long history of us
It's like
finding new life.
Under
It's like I'm
ice.
pretty
Yeah.
sure like the space station would have they would have had like a
they
self-destruct nuke button.
absolutely would have had a robotic arm at the very least.
Now,
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
Yeah.
I'm talking about
They
just
do
like
have a
nuke-
robotic arm on the outside.
Well,
of the
yeah.
ship.
Oh, I want to
I'm
know.
talking about a nuke button. They
Yeah.
would have. They
Yeah.
would have had just like, all right, fuck it, we're screwed.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
all right.
And we're
When
done.
it comes down to stuff that's on the space station, remember this is the ISS. This is not entirely made up. This is the
The
International
ISS does
Space-
exist, of
It
course.
does exist, right? I want to know which country funded the cash to put flamethrowers on the International Space Station. 'Cause that's
Russia.
Russia,
Gotta be,
definitely
right?
Russia.
Gotta be.
Absolutely.
They're
I
waiting
want to know
for
who
bears
had the
to
tech
show
on
up.
the 3D
Vladimir
holograms.
That's why there's
In other news,
Yeah.
ISS crews terrified still by stowaway bear. Right?
No, actually, in all
I mean, so look-
seriousness,
They had flamethrowers
that is
on
why
the
there
ISS.
are guns on the Soyuz capsules.
Ah.
Is so when they land, they can fight off bears.
Of course,
Yes.
there.
I am dead serious.
Then that's
Yeah.
why the problem is with having too much vodka on the Soyuz spacecraft. It's because all of a sudden they need a gun.
And the escape crafts of the actual ISS is a Soyuz.
Then we
release
drink
craft.
all a vodka bottle. What are we supposed to shoot bottle with? We must have gun. Bring
By
me
the way,
Kalashnikov.
So
does have a bloody self-destruct system.
So at what point did the movie lose you? Because I know exactly when.
I
it
mean,
I think for me, the
ugh.
movie lost me
That was
when the alien was outside the spaceship. And yet seemed perfectly unharmed by
well,
the fact that
this-
it was out in
was-
space
yeah.
Was
with
that because
no
the sci-
atmosphere,
I think
no
that-
oxygen.
For me, that's when the science was thrown away.
Yeah.
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 They-
I mean,
they-
like this-
I mean,
Because
they-
that was when
For
the
me, they-
exobiologist was like, well...
It might store oxygen in
it-
its body,
yeah, like
so
it's
it knows
reliant
it's
on
going into
oxygen,
space.
but I don't know, I guess it's storing oxygen.
I mean,
For me,
to
they lost
be
me
fair,
when they started doing the testing on the goddamn thing.
Well, yeah,
I
they
mean,
lost
to-
me there
to
when
be
I'm
fair-
like,
Actually, no.
What are you doing with the glove
Actually,
touching
no.
it? Don't do
Yeah.
that.
They lost
Don't do that.
Actually,
Yeah.
no. They lost me a little bit sooner than that over one huge thing that everybody's going to blow past, and I understand why.
What?
Because it was kind of like it was unseen and annoying that it was unseen.
Uh-huh.
Was when Ryan Reynolds catches a speeding
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
probe
And doesn't
with,
break the
with
arm.
a giant robot arm
And
that
doesn't break
out
the arm up.
completely out of shot, so we don't actually see it happen.
What?
And then all of a sudden, oh, by the way, I got it.
Or
Cue
like,
Instagram.
the main thing-
Yeah.
that
Okay,
You don't see it
here's the
happen,
question.
It's still
We don't see-
scientific.
Here's the
It's
question.
that,
scientific
I
thing,
was like,
so you don't
oh,
see it
fuck
happen.
you. First off,
Here's
no,
the question I have.
No,
Why
nobody.
did he have to spacewalk? Why did he have
Right.
to spacewalk?
Yeah,
That's
if
what-
he was
I don't know.
using the robotic arm to catch it,
That's my point.
why isn't that controllable from
Exactly.
inside
Well,
the
they
space
said
station?
that there was something wrong with the manual with the
Oh, yeah.
automatic thing. Had the manually the only manual.
coming
Well,
soon.
what it needed was an extra 10 minutes of them just mundane bullshit hanging out. So
Yeah,
Well, it
it
zips
did.
around there.
So we
Yeah,
actually cared about the
It did.
people.
One-
It
one
just
thing-
started off with,
Well,
it's
also-
coming.
Yeah,
also,
one
they
one-
don't. You don't start this awesome, pro team of astronauts on the ISS with. Guess I better wing this one. I'm
Yeah.
gonna jump in my
Yeah.
suit, zip out there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna catch it with my bare fucking hand.
Yeah.
Gonna have to do it. Yeah, gonna shoot from the hip on this one and get out there, grab it myself. That's not how NASA operates. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
We
I
have
lost.
We
He
have
lost credibility
we
right
have
away.
samples of the first life coming back from Mars. Let's just wing it.
Let's just, right.
Yeah.
Let's just wing it.
Fucking what the hell? No way.
Yeah, and-
They're
and
like,
one-
it's speeding past. It might destroy the ship. I can get it.
Yeah.
No.
They did make a point to say we moved it so if you miss, it won't hit us.
Right.
And-
And they actually made the claim. They're like, this ship costs $200 billion and
Yeah.
counting.
But go for it, dude. It's cool. You got this.
Grab
You got
it,
this, dude. I got your beer. It's cool.
Don't
Go for
worry.
it. Go for it.
Go, I got you, bro.
Yeah.
Also,
All
another
right, have
thing,
another
like,
one for the road, man. Can't do this sober.
I'm kind of sorry,
That's
Daniel.
when it really lost me.
I'm kind of sorry, Daniel Esparza. I know you're trying to be Stanley Kubrick.
Oh.
You're not. You're
No,
not
no.
Stanley
Yeah, no, some of
Kubrick.
those-
Did you get Kubrick from that?
There were
Really?
some
Yeah, oh, yeah,
absolutely
totally wanted to be
scenes
Kubrick.
that
Yeah,
felt
There
like-
were some. There were
yeah,
some
like
attempts.
There were some
yeah.
that were trying to be.
Yeah,
like,
like that first
Yeah.
shot with like when you first reveal the space station where there's like those lines and like, oh look, it's a space station where
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
I mean,
some
I'm
of
just
the
like,
camera angles in this movie were really, really weird.
and like
It was
and, like,
weird because
Yeah.
the whole
it
movie
started-
moved
it
too
started
fast
out-
and too
yeah,
slow
it
at the
started
same
out
time.
with
Yes.
that whole like one
the pacing
shot
was
take.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole like one
Yeah.
shot take.
Our
Oh.
introduction that before they
Yeah.
started
Well,
testing it
also-
was all.
It's like-
Yeah.
Twice they gave us the view of Kelvin,
Oh yeah.
Which made no sense.
which made no sense, and
That
it
was
was
fun.
blubbery.
Yeah,
and like,
yeah.
Yeah, it was
like
awful.
oh, we're seeing things from
That
the
was
aliens'
that was to
point
remind
of view.
you you're in a
What?
horror movie. No, that was to remind you you're in a horror movie.
It was like the first time we're like,
'Cause
okay,
they knew you
this-
were gonna forget.
You're like, okay, this is cool. We're gonna see it do something clever,
And it didn't.
and it didn't. It just
No, the cleverest thing it did was break out of the little cube.
Yeah.
When
Yeah,
it-
that
when
was
it-
it. That was
when
just
it
one
po-
moment of absolute genius. Like, oh shit, this thing's really smart. Wait a second, no, it's
That
not.
was the clever part. The rest of the time, it was just this monster that was
Yeah.
just instinctual and
Yeah.
impulsive and just
Yeah, because
killed whatever
and
it
it
felt
was a
like.
giant
I
Also,
squid
I
starfish.
thought for the longest time in the movie, when it went into his mouth,
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
I thought he was going to pop out
at
his
least,
chest like Alien.
or
Yeah.
at least eat him entirely.
Yeah,
like it did the
it
mouse.
was really unclear.
I thought
what-
guts were going to come up.
Well, see, I was-
the biologist.
Well, the
Q?
yeah. When he,
Q,
when he
his
puts a
leg.
tentacle down his mouth, I thought like guts were going to come back out or something.
Yeah.
You know that part?
Yeah.
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 It was
He's
Ryan
dead.
Reynolds, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
not
Oh,
Ryan Reynolds.
oh.
The scientist, the
Yeah, yeah,
actual,
when it
the
goes back
only
to Q.
scientist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah,
think
he's
the
dead.
scientist
The
was
tentacle down
attempting
his
to
throat.
test burster.
I thought guts were going to come out.
I thought it was gonna be. I thought this was gonna be something
Like
like
Alien.
Yeah.
No, I thought this would be
Yeah,
more,
Buzz-
more like Prometheus, where if you
I can see that.
where it was meant to be, they were trying at some points to hide. They were trying to hide some of the alien mixes.
Okay. I was kind of hoping that the thing was gonna find a new orifice that hasn't been used in film. Like
Yeah,
come
when-
out of fucking Deadpool's ears or
Yeah,
something.
when it went inside
Like,
of
'cause
Ryan
he
Reynolds,
didn't-
I thought it was gonna they were gonna take their time,
Well,
not
it
know
was
what was
just-
happening, then all
Yeah,
of a
I
sudden
did
Burst
too.
it was
out.
gonna start like shrinking,
Yeah.
and, like
Well-
distorting, and
But
then it was just gonna
it
eat
was
him like
really
it did the
unclear
mouse.
I
what
would've
it
liked
did
to
to
see-
people because
Yeah.
No, I thought it was gonna control him and make
so
him open the
first-
door.
Yeah,
I
it's,
would-
it's
yeah.
like it's like what awful thing can the alien do
so-
to someone this time?
So
Yeah.
first we see it completely crush all of the bones in Hugh's hand.
Yeah,
Then we
that was
see
pretty
it,
cool.
Showing
that
how
was
strong
pretty
it is,
showing
yeah.
how strong
It does, yeah.
Then
Yeah.
we see it kill that rat in some way that didn't really make sense, but there was a
It,
lot
like-
of blood.
it, like, surrounded it and
I
ate
think
it
Like
and, like,
crushed
ate
it
it.
turned it
to death,
inside out
but then-
or
well,
something.
it like surrounded it and digested it
From the
inside
inside,
of
I
yeah,
guess.
yeah.
And then
Yeah.
for Ryan Reynolds, it goes down his mouth.
Yeah.
He convulses for a while.
Yeah.
Then
That-
he starts vomiting blood and he's dead.
And it comes out and it's bigger, but it
But
didn't.
what did it feed on?
It's like
Presumably
it didn't
his
eat him
insides.
though. It's
It
like,
feeds
but it
on
didn't eat him.
stuff.
That was
See,
that
it
was
feeds
kind of weird.
on
I-
It's
Yeah.
not blood because he's vomiting up blood.
No,
Yeah.
but I think
Just
it,
like
it
organic
ate some of
tissue.
its organs. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
it basically went inside.
But
And
you
then
know what?
later
Yeah.
it
But
eats
the-
Hugh's leg, which he can't
Right,
feel
I know.
because he's paralyzed.
He's paralyzed.
Yeah,
right.
and how did it
Paraplegic.
get on
One
his
thing-
leg? Because it was
See,
over
that's
there
not
and
explained
back
either.
and
I
forth.
didn't
Yeah.
get that either. How
Yeah.
the fuck did it get in his leg?
So
No,
Yeah.
here's
I didn't
what-
see
no,
that.
Here's what I thought was happening there. I thought that was actually a moment of cleverness. It realized that they were doing what they were doing, so it hugged onto his leg, trying to do minimal damage.
Yeah, but when did it hug onto his leg? I didn't see that happen. How did it get to
Yeah,
his
it
leg?
was
How-
it was
I
like
think
how
that
did
was
it
a lucky
figure that
coincidence.
out?
Yeah.
I mean, I see what they
that's-
did there.
It knows the language English.
Well, I see what they did there. They introduced a paraplegic or a paralyzed character
Yeah.
who can't feel his leg, and they're like, "Ooh, I know what we can do with this.
yeah,
we can
that-
hide this thing in his
Yeah.
leg, and he'd never know."
Yeah.
So I see what they did, but they didn't explain how the thing got to his
Yeah,
leg.
no.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
writers just felt so
Yeah.
fucking pleased with themselves
Yeah, but
that they
I
set
mean,
this
like,
character
yeah,
up.
and it's like
that they just didn't explain how it actually gets to his leg. So I was
here's
like,
my
it-
question. Here's my question. Right? Was the character written paralyzed
Yeah.
so they could do this?
Yeah.
Or were they
Yeah.
the other way around?
No, I think it was
No, I
written
think
so
the
they could do
character was
that.
written
I think it was
so they could do that.
pretty transparently.
Then that is an absolutely stupid thing to do. You don't write
That's my point.
characters.
Especially when they take the time to show him rubbing his
Yeah.
legs.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay,
You
it's
really
like-
got to
it's like the-
remind
it's
you.
like- it's like-
This is foreshadowing.
Yeah,
He
it's
can't
like-
feel his legs.
Yeah, it's like the whole thing where it's like this thing like I'm like, is he in love with the creature?
Yeah.
That's what it seemed like.
Does he know? Is it like a subconscious?
Well,
he had a
thing?
weird-
Well, you see,
Yeah,
I
it's
defaulted to he's a scientist. This is life.
He's
that
a biologist,
he
and he's like
technically
he's in heaven,
revived
yeah.
from another planet. So this is a groundbreaking in the history of mankind. So on that measure, if he's a real scientist, yeah, he would be kind of in love with this thing because this
Also-
thing just made his
And like every
career-
step of the way, when it's fucking
made his
with his
life.
hand, he's like, he's like, it's cool, I got it, it's cool. Holy, I'm unconscious because I've been fucked up so badly, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
I mean-
that was the second break. I was like, no, I'm sorry. I know it's
Yeah.
fucked up to kill the black guy, but he's dead.
Yeah.
Also,
He's
I
dead.
thought
That's the whole point of this
It's a horror
box.
movie. He's the one black guy.
Yeah.
Everybody knows he's dead.
Also,
Yeah.
I thought
Everybody
when
knows.
it
It's
was
sad
when
but
it out
true.
again, that's how it's going to reproduce.
I think they very
I thought it was
deliberately-
going to make another one.
Well, see, when they zoomed in on the British girl, her like blood parts of like her because she cut
Oh,
herself.
yeah.
Yeah.
When her blood was floating, and
Yeah.
and the director or the DP made the decision to really close in on these little,
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought-
well,
I
no,
thought
pieces
of
of
blood.
blood
was
was
gonna
going
I'm
be a
like,
big-
yeah.
oh my god, there's
Yeah.
there's a few
Yeah.
cells in there
Yeah.
from Calvin.
Yeah.
That's what's going on there.
Yeah.
We're going to see another one of these things. It's in that blood. It's
Yeah,
going to
exactly.
But
And they
no,
don't do
we're
anything
just
with
going
it.
to get a point of view shot
No.
from Calvin eating blood.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
another point. I'm like, shit, they missed an
Yeah,
opportunity there.
for me, like the big like kind of breaking
The
point
DP set him
was
up
I
in the
think
right
I
or
think
left
I think it was when the Russian woman, I think she's doing the spacewalk, and then Kelvin jumps out on her,
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, this is the moment where you push off.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're done. And you're done.
Suicide. It's like,
Yeah.
all right,
Let's
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
aliens
Done
on me.
deal.
Let's take alien into deep
Why do
space.
I'm gonna hold on here as long as I can, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let the thing in. I'm just gonna,
yeah. It's like
I'm gonna
your-
let her
your-
look in the
your
window.
Motivations
Yeah.
are so mixed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, if she's really like this is the
Also,
why,
I
just
thought-
push off. Yeah,
The
I
creature,
agree.
one thing I thought that could have been interesting that they did, I thought they were going to do this. I thought it would have been really great is if they made the creature force her hand to open the door.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought they were going to do that.
Well, I
Like,
also
that would have been
Because it's,
Well, I-
it's smart enough
I-
to know to do that.
well, I also
As established, like I said, it did
Yeah.
one genius thing.
Yeah.
it did another genius thing.
What
We're
else?
talking about
Well-
making it force its people's hands to
Okay,
do
so
things.
the
But that was
question
at the end.
is,
It doesn't matter.
do we think that
That's
was
one thing.
it doing that, or do we think that Jake Gyllenhaal just fucked up and
No,
didn't
I
do the
think-
manual override
I
as
would,
much as
I
he
would,
wanted to?
I would
mean,
like
like,
to think that it was doing that because if it's him just fucking up, then that is just like,
I-
wow,
Well,
I
no,
had
it
my
was
faith
her-
in you, and you're a piece
It
of
was
shit the
her
whole time.
closing the lock while it was trying to feed off the coolant.
No,
In
we're
her
talking about
suit,
the ending.
but-
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
We're talking about the
Oh, at
ending.
the end, yeah.
It controlling the way the joystick
I'd
was
like to
going.
think.
No,
it,
because
well, it was kind of. It was
it
grabbing
was-
his hand and he was fighting.
It was
with
stopping him from doing what he was doing because it quote unquote knew what was going on. But
Right.
if it was that smart all along, it's like I
Then
said,
why-
it did one
I
genius
don't
thing at the
know.
beginning when it broke out of the thing. It's like it went and got the probe, broke the probe purposely, punctured the glove, got out,
All right,
and
well-
then for the rest of the movie, it just kind of was
All
like
right.
a dumb stalker.
Well, here's the thing.
and then at the end, it's like, oh no, now I'm smart again.
Here's
now
no-
I'm so smart
all right.
that I know you're going to another planet where I
Here's-
can take over. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Here's
But
the
then
one.
before that, it gets
One thing
easily lured by the
Yeah, by the
things.
oxygen
You're like,
candles.
It does. It
Yeah.
does. But
Yeah.
you know,
Have they
but
not
it's
had
dying.
that-
But
this
it's
movie?
dying. It knows it's dying.
Yeah.
So it goes and it grabs it and grips the
Yeah,
oxygen
yeah.
channels because it knows it's dying. It has to stay alive in order to, kill other things and
Yeah.
stay alive. So and obviously it's aware of its own mortality. Here's why I think proof is in the pudding. It's not as dumb as I would love to say it is. Is it accomplished everything it needed to do. It
survived.
made it to Earth alive.
It survived,
It's
which
not
is
going to
what it does,
get
yeah.
destroyed by anything in the near future. So it's probably going to do to Earth what it did to Mars.
Well, I did say last
Okay,
night
It
that
does
So,
make it
wait.
from
Yeah.
a dead cell to alive and able to conquer Earth.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
proof in the pudding? Actually, it
I-
accomplished
it's
it.
back and
I
forth
need
for
to pick
me.
up on something you just said
Yeah,
because
of
this
course.
is something that sort of bugged me.
Sure.
Because this is something that was in the trailer that I didn't recall hearing this line in the actual movie.
Sure.
But then, so it's this idea of what this creature did to Mars.
Oh, yeah.
So I remember a line from the trailer
Yeah, it
that
was
I
not.
didn't hear in the movie
You're right.
about
You're right.
there was some other life on Mars that this life clearly
Killed, yeah.
eradicated.
Yeah, they
They
said this,
skipped-
this wiped out everything
They
on
skipped
Mars.
past that.
Which, like,
Yeah.
first
I
of
think,
all,
like-
how could you ever know that unless you had also found other fossilized life on
They didn't
Mars?
want to. They cut all those.
Which
scenes.
must have been why they cut it, but that's weird then that
Yeah.
that still wound up in the
It
IMDb
did.
plot
It
summary.
did.
Yeah.
Well, because
And
they wrote the
I
plot
think
for the
that
movie
was
now.
just my head canon because, like, I think I heard that line in the trailer.
Yeah,
and
but, like-
I just always
Well-
assumed that.
Well, as a
But
line
there
that
was
a line
literally
that
no
all of us
evidence.
will
It was
know.
like, there's this really
Okay.
so all that I can see because they again it was this hand wavium science about the history of this life form because we get it and it's not moving under the life conditions he's giving it.
Yeah.
And then for no real reason he says I'm going to alter the atmosphere
Yeah.
to make it more like Proterozoic Earth
Yeah,
than
from
current
Earth.
Mars.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
No real reason.
Let's
Yeah.
just see what
that
happens.
is a good point.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Look at that. It turns out that when it's in an environment similar to Proterozoic
all right,
Earth,
wait.
it starts moving.
But you're jumping from bad editing to bad writing. I would say bad editing is where it began with. Well, actually, bad writing across the board, but
yeah,
bad
it
editing is
began
where.
with bad writing.
Right,
they
but if
realized
they had all
that they
these other
had done
scenes-
bad writing, and so they tried to
Right.
edit it out, and they did bad editing trying to fix the bad writing.
That works for me because
Yeah.
my own response
Yeah.
to what was really I think one of the biggest problems besides the writing in this movie is a line that we all know but none of us really saw.
Yeah.
I'm a rebel. I
Oh.
rebel.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a rebel. I rebel. Anybody else see that in Rogue One on the theater? I didn't, and I was waiting fucking
No,
2
that whole-
hours to see that
The whole
line.
scene was gone.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that this other like instance of it killed all the other life on Mars, and oh by the way, we found other life on Mars, but this thing clearly killed it. Well, we didn't see that scene. They just kind of threw it in there. This thing must have killed everything else on Mars.
Yeah, it was just
They killed like I think it was be a whole scene.
yeah, I think so too.
like the problem is
And I think-
there's such a good movie here, but they
yeah.
didn't.
There is, but
I think there
I
is.
don't know
if
why
they-
they keep fucking it up.
The entire movie was ruined by that ending.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I saw.
Yeah.
I saw.
I was bored way before the ending.
yeah, I mean, I saw it coming. Does that
Yeah.
make it bad?
Yeah.
No, I
wasn't-
saw
Well, no,
the
here's
ending
the
coming.
thing.
I thought they were gonna do a fake out. I thought.
Oh, it was actually going to be her.
They were gonna
Yeah.
do a double fake out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
and the movie
here's
wasn't that smart.
I would have
Yeah.
preferred that, and that would have made it a smarter
Yeah, you know-
movie.
yeah.
Then
the
it would have
interesting
had a
thing,
message. Then it would have actually had like a.
Well,
hey,
here-
we
here's
can
the- here's the
overcome
thing about
these
that, too.
things.
I think the first
Also-
102 minutes shows there's no message to this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, the interesting thing that like I read some interviews with the writers
Yeah.
and they're like how like was the studio willing to go along with
Yeah.
this whole shocking ending? And I mean like
Oh, it's really not that shocking.
yeah exactly.
No, it's not.
Yeah, because like I was just thinking
Your editors
don't-
gave it away
I was,
for
I
you.
was thinking like don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't.
Well, you could
God,
tell
they
it
did
was coming
Yeah.
when they flew
Yeah.
through the debris, and they didn't
Yeah.
show anything else.
It was
Yeah.
it was the Asian fisherman.
It was the long silence while the Asian
Why-
fishermen are looking at this, talking to each other
Yeah.
without any subtitles.
right.
Yeah.
Why is it so important?
Like,
that
why
she
are
made
we
it back?
so somber?
Yeah.
Why is the capsule so silent? Why don't we hear her already
Get
trying
me
to get
out!
out?
Help! Help!
Yeah,
help.
Yeah, why isn't she already out as soon as it hits the water?
Yeah, I
Because
mean-
So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
that's the cliche horror movie ending where it's just like
and the monster got out and
yeah.
is ruining everything.
Yeah.
well, see, here's
So,
the.
can I lodge one more complaint about
Go
that
for it,
end really
yeah.
quickly? So when we finally get the close up of the Asian fisherman looking through the window, we see that Calvin has taken over like the entire
Oh, he's
inside
huge now, yeah.
of the capsule.
Yeah.
He's taken over. Gyllenhaal made him.
But Gyllenhaal's still alive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because Gyllenhaal's saying,
no.
We've seen this alien kill Ryan
Yeah, I
Reynolds
know.
in the space of like 30 seconds.
I know.
Yeah.
Why did it
Yeah,
take
it's
so
like
long to
the
kill
alien-
How is
Gyllenhaal?
Gyllenhaal still alive enough
the
to say
alien,
no?
the aliens got so smart, just like, you know what? I'm going to make you watch.
But that completely contradicts
I know.
what Hugh
I know.
says when
It's
Hugh
stupid.
tries to make us feel bad for it. He's like, well, it's just life. Like, life has to life necessitates destruction of other life.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Without death, you don't have
Why
life.
is it in the third act of this movie the thing decided to grow a fake head
Yes.
so it could evilly smirk at people
Thank
as
you.
it killed
Thank
them?
You know who that reminded me
Thank
of?
you.
Just to fuck
That
with them,
made
just to
no
be a
sense.
dick.
Made
That
no
makes no
sense.
sense at
You know
all.
what reminded me
There's
of? I'll
no
tell
reason
you
you would
a
do that.
song. Feed me, Seymour.
Every cell was a nerve. Every cell was
Some
Yeah,
muscle.
and an eye.
and an eye.
And an eye,
So
So then why did it
why
need
do you need a face?
two eye-like
It
holes?
doesn't need a face.
This
It doesn't
movie
need a
had
mouth.
the exact
doesn't need
same
anything.
ending as the original ending for Little Shop of Horrors.
Well, see,
Yeah,
here's the thing I was saying.
Pretty
Okay,
much.
so in the movie we only watched them test one sample of Mars. If
Yeah.
this thing wiped out all life on Mars,
I know. What's in the other ones?
there's a whole fucking space station full of samples
Right?
that are
Right.
going to survive re-entry. And
Well,
that
they-
could have been like your hook.
They show you that
At the
teeny
end, that
tiny
would've
little
been-
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That they
that
take
would've
out
been-
a little tiny little piece of dirt, Mars
Yeah.
dirt.
That would have
And-
been the better ending where their plan works.
I
It's
could
launched,
have
the thing's
I
launched
could
off
have
into deep
sworn
space.
there
she
is a
lands,
movie that does
yeah.
that kind of thing. Oh, actually, there is Little Shop of Horrors.
No,
Where
the horrible Godzilla movie from the 90s did that too. With
I
the-
like
no,
that
in the
movie.
original and in the new ending, in
It's
the remade
cute.
ending, in their yard is an Audrey too.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, Audrey
You don't
survives
know what
both,
happens next.
both versions of that.
But you
Um,
still see it, you recognize
Well-
it.
Rachel, you want to tell us what happens next?
Well, that's why the final song of the musical is all their faces in flowers. But anyway,
Yeah.
because they've all been eaten.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, I could start singing, but that's not helpful.
So stay on target.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I just totally lost my train of thought. But I had other things I wanted to complain about.
Life. We're talking about life.
No, I know about.
Yeah,
this
there's just so
movie.
much to complain about.
There's
It's hard
so
to
much.
remember what you're going to say. Yeah,
And we're complaining about life.
yeah, like Gyllenhaal's character should have
who
been like
doesn't complain about
Oh my
more
god, how
nihilistic.
underdeveloped was Gyllenhaal in this movie?
No, he was developed,
No,
but it
he
didn't
was
go
the
anywhere.
only developed
He was the
character.
only developed
Yeah,
character.
it didn't go anywhere. He's like, I like it better up here. Fuck all those people
No,
down
here's-
there.
here's the thing.
And
They
I
never
think
did
the,
anything
the
with that,
Japanese,
though.
the Japanese guy. I mean,
They
like,
never did
He had a
anything.
child.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not
Child.
development.
Woohoo, that was
I,
it.
I,
Yeah.
well, I mean, yeah, like
We're
I was
supposed
rooting for his
Why were
death
they
when he
talking-
was trying
Yeah.
to escape. We use the
Yeah.
escape pod.
Yeah.
I kept yelling at Rachel. I was like, "Open the hatch! Open the hatch! Open the hatch!"
Yeah.
And Rachel's like, "What are you trying to tell me?" I was like, "I forget it. It's too loud. You
Yeah.
can't hear me. Open the hatch! Open the fucking Japanese guy! Open the hatch! Just sacrifice yourself and
Show.
split the, you know."
well, I mean, like,
That was his
I
name?
do, I do,
Show, open the hatch.
I do
Open
kinda
the
like
pod bay door, Hal. Come on.
Yeah, yeah.
I
You
do,
didn't fucking do it.
I do sort of
Such a
like the
bummer.
fact that with the Japanese guy, where the way it wasn't handled especially great, but it could have been handled a lot worse. Where it's like he has a kid, and then it's like he thinks about pressing the button, but then he's like, no, I'm not going to press the button.
I might make it out alive.
But then
Yeah.
he only comes out when there's a hole in his
Yeah.
thing where he's just like, fuck it,
Well, now I'm.
Yeah.
I'm
No, he
left
comes
without
out
choice.
because he thinks we're being rescued.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know how he knows that. I don't.
Because he
well,
can
another
hear
ship
the-
is docked.
I guess.
and he can hear
Yeah, the
another ship
pathway
in the
is
thrusting.
And
Yeah.
he's in the docking area.
Oh, okay, fair
Yeah.
enough. There, that cleared
And
that
that's
one.
why
He's in the
he has
sleeping bag.
Suzuki.
Oh my god, did you guys just fill a plot hole I had? Wow. All right. We're making progress here. I mean, Gyllenhaal, Adam, to your point, I think Gyllenhaal, sadly, I think
Was the
his
most
character
developed
was
character.
the most developed.
Yeah,
Everybody else were just like
He
characters.
was developed, but
But
he was
there's the
like,
thing about
there's all this
They weren't
backstory,
characters,
there's
they
all
were
this stuff about the way he
caricatures.
feels about things, and it
Yeah.
doesn't play into
But,
anything
yeah,
that he
that's-
does.
Yeah, it
that's
doesn't.
what I'm
Or
saying.
no,
No, the only thing was at the end where he's like, "I belong here. I'm more comfortable in space."
Well, that's
Yeah,
the thing.
That
I
was
don't have a
it. But you know
problem
what? At
with it.
least
Yeah.
there was a motive for him voluntarily
Yeah.
saying, "I'll
Also,
deal with this thing alone."
That was his whole
Did
thing.
Calvin
I'm more comfortable
Costner
in
not
space, but it
function?
never pays off in any way.
No, it
He-
doesn't.
it,
But
like-
it's okay. It doesn't have to be a good ending. Obviously, it wasn't.
And also,
But
I
at
think-
least it developed something about him that nobody else really got.
And
There was anything,
the way
anything like
Yeah.
personal that actually made a difference.
No,
Like
not at
Show's
all.
kid made no difference to the plot, like really whatsoever.
It was supposed to make you care about him.
And
more.
not, yeah, it didn't, you know. And
Yeah.
the other ones
And I mean,
didn't
no,
really do it
well,
for me.
like
The science
I like-
guy, I had to go out on a limb to say, well, he's he wants to really root for this thing because he's a man of science.
He
But
wants
even
to,
then,
he wants
I
to capture it and study it.
yeah, but I
yeah.
even had to go out and. We're going again.
We're going again.
We're going again.
We're back.
We're back for after battery malfunction.
Fresh batteries.
Fresh batteries.
So, good things we liked about this movie.
I think that's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Because we might as well take a shot at it.
This part's gonna be really, really short.
Sure.
Yeah, we've since lost Stephen and Joel to the men's room.
Yeah, they'll be back. They can chime in on the back end.
They'll be back. Of course they will. Their drinks are still here.
Adam, what did you
Adam,
like
go.
about the movie?
I had really good special effects. The monster looked really cool. Also, the fact that it was zero gravity the entire time. The fact that
It was believable zero gravity.
It was very believable zero gravity.
Yeah.
And
We're doing good parts.
We're doing
great.
We're doing the good part.
Yeah, great thing.
Adam's up.
Yeah. Very believable special effects. Very believable zero gravity. Yeah, it was all in good effect. And always Ryan Reynolds, very charming. He dies way too early in this movie, and I'll get more into that in my rewrite. But he is amazing as he always is. What about you, John? What do you think?
Me, the good part. I mean, I'll echo what you said about the effects. I like the effects. The effects were good.
Yeah.
Good parts. That's tricky. See, the problem is that I can find too many other horror sci-fi movies out there to compare it to. But for good parts to separate this one out from those ones, I would say one good part that I actually liked. One of the things I also kind of like. One of the big things I liked about Apollo 18, even though I didn't particularly love that movie, was that it was set in our world.
Yeah.
It was set in our time. It was set in things that I already knew, kind of. Like, I know about the ISS. I know about the Soyuz capsule. I don't have to be explained that.
Yeah.
You know, so like it's like whereas in like movies like the Alien franchise, I have to be
everything.
I have to be
told
explained
everything,
every single little thing because we're so far ahead in the future. So I liked and I appreciate the fact that it was set current day. I liked that it had to do with Mars since everybody's talking about Mars. So I liked those parts about the storyline.
Yeah.
We're on
As far
to the things that we
as
like
far as
about
the acting
movie,
goes, I mean, nobody really excelled here. I've seen
No.
Jake do better.
No one was bad. No one was good.
Well, yeah, I've seen Jake do better. I've seen Ryan do better. They didn't do a bad job.
He was given, though,
Here's the thing. For what Ryan was given, he played a caricature of a person in the storyline.
Yeah, he was kind of
Jake,
hanging out.
I think, was the only person who actually did it. Jake and the English woman were the only two I thought actually showed some real acting chops. But unfortunately, you don't get to see it that often. There's only these teeny tiny little moments where you actually get to see them really act.
They aren't enough.
So I did appreciate that there were these little glimmers of hope that this could turn good into maybe we'll see some real acting out of this shitty movie. So I saw some glimmers of it.
I did
But
kind of like
I think I'm gonna pass it over to Steven. Steven is hot to trot over his. What did you find good about this movie?
Yeah, I think
So, Steven,
Ryan Reynolds. He was the wisecracker, but he's like the blue collar guy who sort of knows he's not quite as intellectually gifted as everyone else.
We saw that in some of these other movies. Too, right?
Yeah.
Space Cowboys.
I haven't seen Space.
Okay. What's the? How about any of the movies where we sell oil drillers to a comet?
I have. There's some things I really liked in this movie.
Go ahead, Joel. You're up.
In particular, really liked the Foleying. I love the sound design. The sound of the bones crunching.
Sound was good.
Sound
that got you. Yeah.
I'll give you that. Sound was good.
That Kubrick did in a lot of great science movies. In some science-based movies do, some don't. Space is silent.
Yeah, Gravity did it better than this.
Gravity did better.
Serenity, I think, did it.
Serenity did it better.
Yeah.
Right,
it's entirely
you saw a lot of Kubrick. I didn't see Kubrick within a mile of this.
No, I saw trying to be Kubrick.
I saw low rent.
Well,
Kubrick.
I saw the guy who outright said, "I want to copy Kubrick," and then he put Tom Hardy covered in mud, naked as a prisoner, who wanted to fight in a movie called Bronson, which is the biggest Kubrick ripoff. But he outright says, I really wanted to make a Kubrick movie, even though he's dead.
This is a
This?
Kubrick.
I don't see Kubrick in the
No.
model. You
What
really
I
saw it.
see
You
is
really saw it, though.
no. Let me say.
Yeah.
This is AI. Spielberg's
So
AI.
Spielberg.
So where Spielberg made AI as a tribute.
That was originally a Kubrick movie, though.
Yeah.
They finished
Yeah,
out
but
Kubrick.
yeah.
Yeah,
because,
but
like,
the way that
basically-
Spielberg
yeah,
shot
basically.
it looks totally different
Yeah.
in a few
Yeah.
periods.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Kubrick loves his wide angles. I didn't see a lot of wide angles
I mean,
in
like-
this movie unless they were really close up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so
the,
from a-
the,
from
whole,
a-
the whole like long shot. The whole long
Yeah,
shot.
but we saw
felt
that in
like
Gravity.
Yeah.
You see
They're
that
trying to
in
make it
Birdman.
Yeah.
You see that, but Gravity, the opening scene of Gravity. I love that opening shot in Gravity, where that
It was
radio
more
chatter
just
gets
the
louder and
tone
louder.
and the
I love
feel.
that. I love that.
It was more just the tone and the feel of the movie for me that was Kubrick. It wasn't just like a paint by
No,
numbers.
no,
like
I didn't.
no.
I didn't get that one either.
No, it was trying
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
Kubrick. It wasn't. It wasn't
No,
even
it
close.
wasn't Kubrick at all.
You
That
guys
was
saw
not
stuff
Kubrick.
I didn't
No,
see.
no.
It was
That is what I
wild.
hate about it. Is
like-
that it tried to be Kubrick.
But we're going. We're Joel. We're
Let's
going with
just
the good
all
part.
agree.
Right, right,
like,
right.
okay, guys, we all agree John is wrong. Okay. Right.
Excuse me,
It's all
guys.
settled.
I have my backpack over there.
It's over there somewhere.
Here it is.
There it is.
Gracias.
I stole
De
everything
nada.
from it.
I've been on that podcast before.
That's right. You have, sir. Special guest star.
So no,
You never know what will happen on some guy in Jaws.
You never
I'm
know.
gonna go back to the positive thing. The
We
sound
haven't had-
design
we haven't had
was
drunk girls in a while.
absolutely
We used to have drunk
phenomenal.
No joke, girls.
Sound design, yes. I'll give you that.
And
yeah.
I'm gonna say the parts of the technical aspects, like again the CGI
Yeah, the
was
effects-
actually really good,
The effects
and
were good.
the sets were amazing. This is how they designed the International Space Station. You actually could feel.
Well, it was the sets were kind of a cheat because it just went, what's the International Space Station look like? Build that.
Plus, it was entirely
that-
too dark. The inside of the ISS is lit up like a goddamn Christmas tree.
Yeah.
It's like all white.
Annoyingly
inside.
bright, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
For a very good reason.
it's
No
just-
aliens can hide behind a panel.
Yeah.
Everything
in
is
real
lit.
life, the space station
It
does
is
not
lit
want
up.
moody horror movie.
No. No.
Blood. That is not.
No, I got problems with the colorist on this one. Yeah, whoever went in there with the editor and sat there and color
It's
color
probably the
graded
same
and
guy who did Man of Steel.
You're probably right. You're probably right. They butcher in coloring the DC movies.
Yeah,
now.
a good color correction can make or break a movie.
Well, I mean, their color.
Sorry, but-
Well, no, the color correcting was fine. The color correcting was fine. I didn't see a problem. The color grading was awful as shit. But color correction, I didn't see one problem with color correction the entire movie. So I will give you that.
Yeah.
I will get the colorist did a good job with that. Color correction was great across the board. Color grading, somebody was high and drunk at the same time.
Well, what is the difference between the two?
Oh well, it's called a crossfade, my sir.
So in photography, you can make the
Oh, color grading and color correction.
Yes.
Color correction is when if you had a bunch of different scenes, a bunch of different shots, and they're of like let's say the same area, and you shoot them all, but let's say I don't know, one shot looks a lot brighter than the other one. Why? Because you're at some weird angle and the sun was coming in or whatever like that. So one shot in the same scene, one shot looks brighter than the other. Well, you need to kind of make them kind of look the same since it's the same place. So you make them both look like they're actually in the same place at the same time.
actually it's not.
I'm just giving them the simple one.
The
Color grading is when
Keep
you
it
put
simple.
a grade on everything. And you say, well, listen, I want to make a war movie. Yeah, Steven Spielberg? Yeah, but I want it to be really washed out with the colors. Almost like old film footage.
Right.
I want to do something with movies that never really gets done. I want to take a lot of the color out. Trust me, when I do this, everybody's going to want to do this afterwards. And they do. So he took a lot of the color out of the entire movie over the top. Color correction is when you're trying to get shots to make it look like you're in the same.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
the basic principle behind it. There's guys who get master's degrees in this shit, spend way too much time doing it, but make a fortune doing it for all these studios.
One of the
Just doing
simplest
that.
color.
Joel's going to give you the complicated
Alright.
version right now, but that's the simple.
It's not that complicated.
Let's hear it.
Imagine take a photograph of something that has white in it, all right? And you want them in the white now looks blue, red, green, or yellow. you color correct to make it such that that white is now a white point, so that everything in the shot is reflective. So all whites in that shot are this color, and so blues are blues, reds are reds. Because if you shoot under different lights, like tungsten,
Keep going. You got it.
fluorescent,
Yep.
or other color lights, it will change what the camera does with the colors, and it might make your skin look really greenish or bluish.
It's why your iPhone has a thing called white balance on it.
Yeah.
And your
when you take
balance,
pictures.
white balancing is the first step to color correction, so you can balance everything and you can make it look very how you normally see it with your eyes, but the camera sees it differently because it is using the white to build the picture.
So if I use 2 shots in a sequence of you sitting there on that couch over there, and one shot has a lot more tungsten in it than the other shot, what I'll do is I'll color correct them to look like they're actually in the same place at the same time with the same light,
Yeah, high
the
five
same
right here.
camera, the same light.
Yeah, high
Make it
five
look
right
like you're in the same place because they don't want to take you out of that scene. Because you're putting together many shots
Yeah.
in a single scene.
or you remove the tungsten.
Okay, wait.
Right.
So let's
that's
take a,
that's the basic
Yeah,
principle.
going
Yeah.
back.
That was done.
And now I know.
That was done
Yeah.
fine on this movie, but it's done fine on most movies. The color grade is how they want to make this movie look a little bit differently. Like how dark it was on the space station. It probably was really bright when they actually shot the movie in real life on the set, but they put a grade on it to make everything darker, bring everything down. The advantage to that is that they can work with a lot more light and they can get a lot more detail.
So, did they use the vomit comet when making this movie?
I think so. I think so.
So I can't. That just makes me have a lot more respect for those actors because they have to be in this airplane that is going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and
I
down.
said I think so.
If they did,
They did on Apollo 13, but they didn't in a lot of other movies. Like Gravity, they didn't. Gravity,
There were a
didn't.
fair amount of
But they
moments watching
did.
it where I'm just like, oh yeah, there's anti-gravity.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, like it wasn't like
Well, like
wasn't
Apollo
perfect.
13, they used the vomit comet, but in the movie Gravity, they just taught Sandra Bullock how to do interpretive dance,
Yeah.
and that sold it.
Yeah.
They did not use the vomit comet because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
very
Yeah,
expensive.
but, I
I
mean-
think they actually did use it in this movie because it was kind of short. I don't know why they blew all that money on that. They should have blown it on the writers.
I don't think
Other
I don't-
ones, that
I mean,
is, to fix all these plot holes.
Here's
But
here's
I think
here's
they
the
actually did.
secret.
Wait, we
Writing
need-
is cheap.
We need to get back on target and actually talk about the
We are
movie that
talking
we
about the
watched.
movie.
My favorite parts of the movie.
It is your turn.
One of my favorite parts of the movie was that they actually killed off Ryan Reynolds first.
Yes.
Oh,
that was
yeah.
very
Because
cool.
they did that. Oh
Yeah.
shit! We have one of the most current charismatic actors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
fucking cool.
Yeah.
And he does something kind of heroic,
Yeah.
and he pays for it right away, and he's dead, done, out of the movie.
Yeah,
Although
He's
I
just a
actually-
Do
body.
you think that saved them on when it came down to
I actually
signing
read
paychecks?
that he was originally going to be the Jake Gyllenhaal
Ah.
role, and then it turned out he didn't have enough time, and so they had to give him a supporting
Yeah.
role.
Yeah, you
So
know,
it
see
wasn't
that-
even for money.
We'll see that
No,
that
you
helps.
didn't.
That
You know what,
helps
I-
the movie.
Ouch.
That wait. I'm sorry, I have the floor. That helps the movie because you go into the movie and you're like, you recognize Ryan Reynolds. Outside the movie, you're like, okay, he's this, he's that. He's one of the better actors, really charismatic, and then they
Right,
kill him right
we-
away, and you're like, oh shit, anybody can die now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now
but,
who's
yeah,
gonna die next?
Yeah, but it's a horror movie. I went
It's
in
a horror movie,
I went in
yeah.
there knowing that.
But some horror movies don't do that.
I figured they'd all. I figured they'd all end up dead.
Yeah, but some horror movies you watch them and you're like, okay,
And they did.
that actor,
They did.
that actor's a good, well-known
They did.
actor. They're gonna survive till the end and be the last one to die.
No, I see. I
and
see
then
your
they
point.
like, they do that little like, okay,
I
he's
see your
dead
point.
first. Yeah.
I see your point.
That and the I did like.
I really would have liked them to swap roles with Jake Gyllenhaal. What
I
Rachel
did
was
like-
saying is that he was supposed to have a more bigger role. I would say if he had the time, just make him swap with Jake Gyllenhaal.
And I did.
I don't mind Jake Gyllenhaal dying.
The other thing I did like was how smart. Like, unfortunately, they didn't follow up with it. How smart Calvin was when he breaks the probe,
Yeah.
breaks out of the thing, and that they introduced, but they didn't follow up with it. And I thought they should have. That Calvin, he did go and kill the mouse right away.
Are you ready?
No.
Sounds like it.
I'm like there were like little hints of
Okay.
maybe possibly being able to communicate,
Okay.
but the first thing they did after he killed the mouse was try to
Okay.
kill him.
Okay.
And then he was kind of like, "Fuck it, I got to kill everybody here."
Right.
It was on. It was on because up until that point he was just kind of
Okay.
like, and I wonder if they would have done anything because like he was on Ryan Reynolds' leg
He was.
to get out,
He
but
was.
he didn't hurt him when he was on his leg.
No, he wasn't.
He didn't attack Ryan Reynolds until after Ryan Reynolds tried to fucking blowtorch him.
Well, yeah.
And they never like came back to that at all.
Not really.
That's
Not
that's
really.
I'm delving in a little bit into my rewrite, which would have made it so much better. But
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And for me, those are like my only two good points because he was like Calvin was genius at the start, and then kind of just a dumb stalker for the rest of the movie, and then smart at the end again.
Rachel,
Oh,
you think of anything good you like?
The credits.
It can also be stuff we've already said, of course.
yeah, I
The
thought
music was good too.
Yeah.
except for the very jarring choice of "Spirit in the Sky" for the credit song.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was,
yeah, that was
It's like big dramatic
that
ending.
was-
Aliens of
with- yeah,
this
with-
destructive
with-
force has landed on Earth.
yeah. If
Da,
you
like what?
And then,
really
and,
don't-
and,
if-
and then,
if
then,
you
it,
laugh-
then it switched back to like the ominous ending.
Yeah, I know.
Outro
No,
for
no,
that
wait,
music.
I think
It's
it
like-
only works if you laugh at horror
No,
movies.
I actually
Yeah.
like that.
If you
for
don't
one
get
reason.
if you don't get properly scared in horror movies, if you just laugh at all of them, then I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
No,
what else did
I
you
like that
Rachel?
for a really for reason.
Wait. What else did Rachel like about the movie?
Yeah, I liked
Not
the
much.
effects. Although I feel like by the end, after it had grown more appendages,
Yeah.
Calvin started to look kind of like Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon, and also a little bit like Stitch.
Did you like that?
No,
No,
it's
he
not
looked too.
scary.
He looked too familiar and too like. Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
and like these two characters that are very friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it had things that looked like Stitch's big floppy ears. I don't know. Anyway, things I liked. That's kind of it.
Yeah, because his shape, as the movie went on, his shape became more recognizable. It should have almost been like an amoeba with
Yeah.
tentacles.
Yeah.
It should have been like they should have just gone full octopus with. I need to move
All right,
around.
you're rewriting. You start.
Wait,
no, I wanna
No,
go-
he's
I
already
wa-
started. He beat you.
I want to go last on the rewrite. This
You
time.
started then.
No, I want to go last on
He
the
wants to
rewrite.
go last.
So, I
Well,
want
then
to say
stop
one more
starting.
thing for the Great Spirit in the Sky.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, that is the song they chose to use for Apollo 13.
No.
What was the one they used in the
You mean like the one that
They
not
couldn't-
not Jim Lovell, but what's his name? The guy that Kevin Bacon plays. Oh no, the guy Bill Paxton plays.
Yeah.
What he chooses.
They couldn't do 2001.
And they were gonna use Space Odyssey
Yes.
because the name of the command module is the Odyssey.
Yeah.
The song he chose, I do remember it. Oh, shit, we're digging back. We're gonna have to come back to me on this one. I'll remember it though. It was not Spirit in the Sky. It was something else. Spirit in the Sky is so closely related to NASA that everybody throws it in there. I can't remember which act. It wasn't Apollo 13.
You know, it was in the car. It was when they were in the car at the stoplight.
What? Oh no, you're talking about when Tom Hanks, Jim Lovell was in the car at the stoplight. I don't know what he was listening to in his Corvette.
I'm pretty sure it was.
It's when he's sitting at the stoplight in his Corvette, and the guy in the Shelby next to him blows him away because the Corvette stalls.
Yeah.
I don't remember what song.
Yeah,
that
but
is.
aside from that, I just was reminded of Apollo 13 by that song.
Yeah, I'll remember. I'll come back to me, and I'll remember where it is.
All right, we're going to rewrites.
Why don't you start us out?
Yeah, go for
So
it.
my first, I have a few rewrite ideas. They're very brief.
You'll rewrite the whole story like you're pitching it.
Okay, so if I were to rewrite the entire story, I would say okay.
If you want, however you want. Yeah.
Yeah. First, I would say okay. They seal off the character and no one goes in. So yeah, what's the guy, the scientist's name again?
Q.
Q is eaten. He dies from his injuries. He is eaten, and the room is sealed. However, what they don't know is that there's some of the samples were still on
some of the samples are still on the ship. Yeah,
are still on that ship, and they start dividing and hatching, and they realize, oh wow, this is what they are. This is what they can do. We now have to stop not just one, but 2 or 3, and so they have to figure out how to stop it. And they realize, oh wait, we have a test one contained in here. We can figure out what can kill it. And so they're experimenting on it. But what they don't know is that the creatures communicate kind of telepathically. So all the other ones are seeing what they are doing.
I'm just now remembering, actually, I think it was Spirit in the Sky. They just started in a different place.
Yeah.
Well, because they started. They start the song at the very beginning of Paul.
Back on target.
Sorry, I just remembered.
So,
stay on
creatures
target.
can experience what they're doing to this creature, and that is what sets them off on their rampage to attack everyone. And so they're trying to figure out, okay, how do we do this? In this case, the story, okay, hey, we messed with this thing. We are at fault here. Now we have to try to figure out a way to communicate with the aliens. The aliens don't want to communicate. And they kill everyone on the station, but one person, because they want that one person to get them to the planet. And it ends with this culmination of this kind of battle of how this one person tries to outwit the aliens, and they figure out this way. They use the same kind of oxygen. Boy, I actually really enjoyed that idea, and they escape and they make it to Earth. However, what they did not realize was that the aliens realized were watching how she controlled the ship. And so they use their muscles to pull levers. They don't understand what levers to pull in what order, but they start pulling levers, firing fuel tanks and whatnot, and destabilize the space station's orbit, and it crashes onto Earth. But you see one capsule remain intact on the ground, fade.
There we go. Well done, sir. Steven?
All right. So, yeah, basically, I would not really create, like, a face for the alien. It's just like...
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, it's
me
like...
neither. I don't want to personify this thing.
I mean, like... I would, like, make it more about the human characters and just sort of... Basically just make it a game of, like, okay, like, we have to... One by one, they have to, like, either intentionally sacrifice themselves or sacrifice other people against their will, and just be like a whole, like, sort of battle of wills kind of thing, where just like it's like two people are in a room, and like they know if they press this button they'll kill this one person, but they'll have a better chance of getting rid of it.
I can see that.
And yeah, it's like, and then it's like the whole thing's expanding, and I like the idea about how it's like they're able to take away the oxygen and like kind of like contain the idea of containing the whole like kind of amoeba octopus thing onto one pod. And so like it's like they lure it onto this one pod, like Jake Gyllenhaal's in this thing, and then he loses control, and like he doesn't have he's like he can't move his arm anymore, and the two pods release, but just twist of fate, he's on a proper entry path. Jake Gyllenhaal's on the proper entry path, and the other girl who's in love with him. It's like Jake Gyllenhaal, he can still talk and say, "You have to knock me out of orbit." And
okay.
so yeah, and so like
I like that.
yeah, and then they and so yeah, it's like there's the two pods. They collide with. She purposefully collides with him, and like they're like floating. They're like they bounce off Earth's atmosphere, and they're like floating into deep space, and then there's and then it's like they're floating into deep space, and then there's like the turn, and then through the windows they can both see each other, and it's like we did it.
All right.
And fade to black.
Awesome.
That's how I do it.
Adam, anything?
So I would start it off the same. Opening up in the space station, they get the sample. Probably I wouldn't make the scene with the arm catching it so fucking ridiculous.
Thank you.
I would have
I
something
appreciate
that
that.
actually on screen that actually makes sense. They have it. They get it. That the English crippled guy studies it. However, when it gets time for the Ryan Reynolds character to get killed by the creature, he dies, but then he comes back to life, and they're all studying him. They're like, wait, what's going on? What's going on with this guy? It turns out the alien's taking him over and is basically controlling all of his motor functions, but he still has all the same memories.
You want to see V'ger from
Yes.
Star Trek: The Motion Picture?
Yes.
I'm not complaining.
I never saw that movie, and
You don't
I
have
have
to, it's
what
okay.
the reference is, but yes, exactly that.
V'ger.
Yeah.
I won't spoil why that's called V'ger.
So Ryan Reynolds becomes kind of main antagonist because
Steven
the
got
creature can like split itself into many different things. So part of it is inside Ryan Reynolds, part of it is running around the ship. So Ryan Reynolds is like Hannibal Lecter. He's held captive the entire time by the main scientists.
Okay.
But then then at some point they noticed a beacon way in the distance of about a space. What could it be? They don't know. Turns out it's the Predator. The Predator has found out about this weird squid-like alien creature, and now it's here to hunt it. So the last third of the movie is just a big shootout. It's just a big fight in between this giant ever-growing. Oh yeah, by the way, at this point, at the end of the second act, it goes to Earth and takes over the Earth, so it still has that. So that
When
still
does Sigourney
happens.
Weaver come in?
Oh, she comes in right at the end.
Okay.
And what happened to Newt?
To what?
Newt.
To nukes. To nukes?
Newt.
To nukes. I have no idea.
I've never even seen any of the Alien movies, and I know what that is in reference to.
It's okay.
We'll wait for God.
So, end of the second act, it takes over the planet, and the Predator comes to hunt it.
The Predator comes to hunt it.
And there's a big shootout
And
between
there's
the Predator
the
ship
big
and
giant
all of
shootout
Earth.
between the two of them. And then it's just this giant machine, but it just has the head of Ryan Reynolds on now. And it comes across all the main
head of
predators.
Ryan
And
Reynolds.
the head of Ryan Reynolds is like, okay, let's do this, cowboy. And they just start running towards each other. And you see the alien run towards him.
Jesus.
And the predators run towards
All out of
towards each
bubble
other.
gum.
And then they get closer, and they get closer, and they get closer, and then boom, straight to credits. And then the very last part, it's like the Predator and the weird alien creature will return in The Predator and the Weird Alien Creature, the movie.
Guys.
And that's my rewrite.
No, I'm going last. I got to hear
You're
yours
going last.
first.
All right,
Yeah.
Rachel, do you have anything?
Okay, I have two thoughts for a rewrite, and they would be two different rewrites.
Okay.
So, one of them, and they have to do with the genre issue, because I feel like part of the problem with this movie was that it honestly couldn't decide if it wanted to be a horror movie or a sci-fi movie.
Here.
And so my two rewrites, each of them would pull it in a different direction.
Right on.
So the science fiction rewrite would make it a much more science-y movie. There would be far more discussion of how this thing works as a life form, why it needs the environment it does, why it can survive in that, and in that it would become scarier. And
Sort of kind of like Arrival-ish.
Arrival-ish, yeah. But more, but whereas Arrival was really focused on linguistics.
Yeah.
This would be really focused on
Biology.
So you'd have
biology and neurology. Because I
Neurology.
think the idea that this is a cell that is simultaneously eye,
Muscle.
brain, and muscle
Yeah.
is really interesting, and I think that they could have done something with that.
Yep.
So that's my science fiction rewrite. My horror rewrite is just to make it scarier. Because I'll say, and I'll go, because
Yeah.
so this is a movie that is more than anything else a horror movie. And I'm a wuss when it comes to scary movies.
Oh.
I wasn't scared by this movie because I saw every jump scare coming 5 minutes before it happened.
The music kind of did it.
The music did it, but also it was so predictable that you could know, okay, it's been lurking for this many seconds. I know that movies typically give the lurking things this many seconds before they jump out at someone.
Yeah.
To the point where I could be like, I have a distinct memory of sitting in the theater going, ooh, the first jump scare is coming in approximately 30 seconds. I'm going to brace myself against my armrest. But then even when it happened, I wasn't scared.
Yeah.
So I would do something to make it scarier. And I'm not entirely sure what that would be. I know for sure it would be redesigning the creature, like a couple of people have already talked about.
Yeah.
Just not make the scaring so paint by numbers and the timing of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd make it far less predictable.
Yeah.
I'd amp up the aliens' intelligence
Yeah.
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 throughout, because I think
Yeah.
a smart alien is really
The most scary.
the most scary. And something that's been cycling through my brain about this movie since I first saw the trailer, because you get the line about it's all brain, and I couldn't identify why this quote popped into my head when I first saw the trailer, but I think there's something to do with it. Is the line from the second Harry Potter book where Mr. Weasley says to Ginny, "What have I always told you? Don't trust anything that can think for itself if you can't see where it keeps its brain." Which is a great phrase. And anyway, but I think that there was something scary to do with that. Of look at this creature that can clearly think for itself.
Yeah.
And yet it's all brain and all muscle, and the brain is muscle. And it can ooze, and it can make it more squid-like, but also make it look more like nothing that exists on Earth.
Yeah.
Because eventually, like we've said, like it started looking like a starfish,
Yeah.
then it got squid-like, then it got
A face.
Audrey too.
a face that was like half Demogorgon from Stranger Things, half Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon, and a third half something else. I don't know.
Audrey too.
The tiny dinosaur from Jurassic Park, the one that spits
Oh,
and
yeah.
has the collar.
Make it like a blob that forms appendages to do things because it doesn't know what it's doing.
Well,
Yeah.
And it learns when it does
But
those
also
things.
give
yeah.
its body abilities that are scary. Like, okay, so it's super strong. It can crush all the bones in a person's hand. But give it other strong things
like
that
what
we
else
can
what else-
see
what
what
else
it's
can it do?
doing.
Yeah.
Because all we see in the movie is it crushes someone, and then we see it go inside people, and then they die. We don't see what it does, which makes it
Yeah.
less scary.
Yeah.
So just either ramp up the science part, or ramp up the scary part.
Yeah.
Don't leave it in this weird, like, well, it's a horror science fiction, but it's not actually that scary, and it's not actually that sciencey.
Yeah.
That's my rewrite.
Yeah, that's what I would. I wouldn't do everything different. I mean, I would focus in mainly on the alien itself for my rewrite. I would focus mainly on that. A few things here and there, but mainly I'd focus on the alien. I would change that up a bunch. First off, yeah, the sciencey thing. Let's see. It can't survive in the vacuum of space because there's no oxygen. It's too cold. It can't survive in the space station when they suck all the oxygen out because then it becomes too cold and there's no oxygen.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody want to tell me what happens when the sun goes down on Mars?
Yeah.
There's no oxygen and it's too cold.
Yeah.
Somehow this thing managed to handle
Well, it was
that.
when they found it was
right.
in a state of it was dormant. Hibernation,
Exactly.
yeah.
But again, all of that is kind of like, it could survive outside for a little while. Well,
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Whatever. That's a sciencey thing. I would change that a little bit.
Yeah.
I would make it a little bit more stringent. Give it a few vulnerabilities.
You'd add rules to the universe that
A little
everything has to
bit,
follow.
a little bit,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that gives our characters a few more, I don't know, weapons to work with, a few
Yeah,
more tools
yeah.
to work with. Also, I wouldn't just revive this one alien, this one little
Yeah.
cell. I'd want to see not just this thing, which of course is going to be the dominant creature, because look what it can do.
Yeah.
I'd want to see them in another box, because on the ISS, they got to have another box.
Yeah, a completely different
Let's see
creature,
them
yeah.
revive the alien species from a cell that was there that this thing killed.
Yeah.
Let's see these two things go at it
Yeah.
for like 30
Yeah.
seconds and watch this big evil alien destroy and kill this other smaller alien. They say, wow, we found more than one piece of life on this planet.
Yeah.
Who would have thought, this giant planet?
Yeah.
Because, as we know, there's more than one piece of life on Earth. Obviously, this thing conquered everything on Mars. Let's see them revive something that it conquered, even for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Just so we can see this thing destroy it. Make that be our demonstration of this thing's power.
Yeah.
Have them both get revived. One's a teeny little, wimp. Obviously, the thing that lost. And then this thing that obviously won gets to it, maybe by instinct, kills it in front of them, and like, holy shit, this thing is
They kind of
dangerous.
raised the scene in splice.
Well, let's use that as the demonstration of how dangerous this thing is. Then it becomes all the more stupid when they start poking and prodding it. Then we can start really having some of the other characters say, I don't think you should do that. Did you have any idea what it Did you have any idea what it did to Alien B over there?
Yeah.
It destroyed it. Yeah, I know, but that was a little weakling thing, whatever. We got plenty more cells for that thing. Let's just see what happens when I zap it with it. It's so stupid. I want to see this alien not just crush things and then escape down people's throats, inexplicably come back up, and the person's dead. I want to see this thing absorb not just the tissue, because presumably that's how it's growing.
Yeah.
Let's see it actually start to morph and change.
Yeah.
Let's see, like
every time we see
an entire body disappear. This thing gets much bigger.
Yeah.
And every now and again, we'll see the facial impression of Ryan Reynolds' face come out of it for just a second, just a split second. And let's see it try to try to control things like we control things.
Yeah,
let's see how smart it really is.
Every time we see it, it looks different. It's doing something different.
It doesn't have to be like a clone. But let's just see as if Ryan Reynolds was inside this blob, pushing his face out of it from the inside.
It's trying to
and
be
just see
him.
it ate his face.
Yeah.
How about that? It ate his face. He's a skeleton now. And then all of a sudden we see this imprint of his face every now and again trying to get out. And after he kills another person, we see two of these faces trying to get. It's showing the audience that it's absorbing tissue and everything. Let's see that. That would freak the hell out of me. If all of a sudden it starts making these creepy, otherworldly noises, but it's moving Ryan Reynolds' mouth. That's not really his face. It's just the impression. Let's see that kind of shit.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that. I'd like to see the alien do more than just turn into a squid.
Yeah.
Because it's so powerful and it's capable of so many things, and so quickly. We're thinking it's evolving so fastly, or it's entirely smart, because the size this thing gets when it's a squid, if that's all brain tissue, that's bigger than all of our brains here at the table combined.
Yeah.
So that brain is massive. That thing should be
And
crazy intelligent.
Yeah, and it's all muscle and
If it's all
eye,
brain,
too.
if
Yeah,
it's all
yeah.
muscle, if it's all brain,
Yeah.
let's just keep on that. If it's all brain, too, right off the bat, it's got to be 10 times as smarter than any person on that ship. So let's see it do some creepy things and be able to figure things out. Let's see it figure out how to open doors and stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see it get that'll make it really scary. As a few people already mentioned, a smart alien is a scary alien.
Yeah.
Let's see
Let's
it do
see
that.
them have to deal with the fact that it's all eyes, which means you can't sneak up behind it.
Plus, I want to see something silly and, predictable. I want to see somebody make a run for it, jump into one of the escape pods, take off, and be like, I'm getting the fuck out of here! And then find out a few cells of this thing got inside, and another one is now growing inside.
Yeah.
And he is killed before he lands on Earth.
Yeah.
Just penance for trying to escape the group. Let's just see that this thing can reproduce. I'd love to see that, because then it really opens it up for a franchise, if that's what these fuckers are hoping for. And also, I don't want to see the really predictable trick where, oh my god, it was Jake Gyllenhaal the whole time. Oh my god, this thing's on Earth now. No, I want to see her land safely.
Yeah.
But if you want to set up for a sequel,
And they put her in quarantine.
No, she'll be in quarantine. That's fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
She can talk about it later on in the next one.
Yeah.
But if you really want to set up for a sequel, there's a whole space station up there, $200 billion and counting, and you know all the space agencies are going to want to go up there and figure out what the fuck happened.
Yeah.
That is the opening
and
to some of the
that's-
best horror movies.
Yeah, and that's when
let's
it comes
go up
up,
and
yeah.
find out what happened.
Yeah.
So there's a whole bunch of dirt still up there with all these things on there, and you know the awful mistake of when the zombies, we think they're dead, let's repopulate England. Let's go back in. We've cleared all of the islands.
It's safe now.
Oh, it's safe
Yeah,
now. Oh, wait
yeah.
a minute. There's a few infected cells. Fuck, we're fucked again.
Yeah.
There's your sequel.
Yeah.
No, what if they
You don't
just
have
shut
to
the
ask
door?
me, you know? I
What if
mean,
they just shut the door and it slices off a tentacle and the tentacle regrows?
you can do it. You can do it. But again, that would be one of those things where I'm like, I don't know. Do we really want to go there? I like the idea that it still comes from these little cells. I think that's scarier. Because if it's a tendril that's flopping, that's still semi-scary. I like
tentacle regrows the
No,
entire
I like
body.
the idea that it comes from something as tiny as a cell. That way, when we close up to when this blood flecks are flaking off of the British girl's leg,
You
it
don't
actually
know what they
means
are,
something.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
otherwise, the DP, the director, and the writer chose to focus in on that. Because when they do that, the director is saying, look at this thing, it's really
Yeah.
important. And guess what? It turned out to be completely useless. Not important at all. If you keep it focused on a cell of this shit, can turn into another one of these creatures. A cell of this creature.
Well, then you just have the thing again.
Right, exactly.
Which was a
right,
great
but
movie,
that's
yeah.
basically where they were going.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
a thing in space.
Yeah.
Let's go with that, but let's
Yeah.
make it a little scarier than the original thing. I'm saying if you're going to keep it as a thing in space, fuck the sci-fi part of it. It's not
Yeah.
going. This thing will not make it as a sci-fi.
Yeah, it's a
movie.
monster.
It's a monster
Yeah.
movie. It's a horror movie. It's a thing. It's a thing in space. I'm okay with that. Just do it right. Just don't do the science part of it and try to keep telling me it's a science fiction movie. You can
Yeah.
tack that on at the very end. For me, it goes horror, thriller, sci-fi for this movie.
Yeah.
Horror movie first, though. So make the thing scarier, make it a lot more intelligent, make it able to open doors and really cause a threat. And at the end, I want to see it pilot fucking another spaceship, another escape pod.
Yeah.
I want to see them say there's another escape pod out, but we can't find a human person on it. But it's moving.
Yeah. Like what?
There's your thing.
Who launched that
Who
pod?
launched it and
Yeah,
who's
we're all here.
controlling
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
It is now. It put itself into orbit, and
Yeah.
now it's looking
Yeah.
specifically on another orbit. It's going to land in Asia.
Yeah.
Why Asia? I don't know. But if I was a monster, that's the most populated area. Holy shit! There might be a monster controlling that thing.
Yeah.
You know, like there you go. Set it up that way.
Yeah.
Set it up like danger is coming from above. Don't end it with danger's here already. End it with it's looming.
Yeah.
Because that'll make for a much better sequel. Because you know that's what they would love to do. The writers. I don't think.
Blumhouse would love to get a hold of this.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So I would really amp up the monster in a way that these guys just didn't think of it. I would make it a lot scarier. I would make it a lot smarter, and I would make little parts of it. You'd see what it was eating. I want to see the impression of Ryan Reynolds' face for a flash. I want to see the impression of Hugh, the scientist, for a flash. I want to see this thing devour people and then kind of absorb them. That's what I would do. And as a result, I think that would make it at least on par for a horror movie. I wouldn't dare try to make this a sci-fi movie because I think it's dead on arrival as a sci-fi movie. For a horror movie, though, it's got a chance, but you got to make this thing a lot scarier.
See, I'm thinking more sci-fi.
Sorry for
first
you.
No, I'm thinking more sci-fi first than horror.
Okay.
Where it's a 2-hour movie. We add we add the character building, so you actually care about these people in the beginning.
Okay.
It shows up. We go through the same basically up until Ryan Reynolds dies. But what our scientist discovers is that it has DNA, but it's, I don't know, the DNA chain's 10 times longer.
I'm good
And
with
all
that.
the information's all completely different.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
When it breaks out of the thing, it takes that probe with it, and it's beating, it's like tapping on everything. It's poking the scientist. It's exploring its environment. When we have the switch up, when they get the scientists out and Ryan Reynolds is in there, after it eats the mouse, it goes inside of Ryan Reynolds, and they're like, oh, okay, well, the scientist guy's like, well, it's in a completely different environment inside of Ryan Reynolds. It killed him, so maybe it died because it doesn't understand it. And like I said earlier, Ryan Reynolds.
Would you want to
starts
keep this
distort.
thing inside of Ryan Reynolds longer as he's being still
Let him
alive?
finish it. I
No,
think he's
I'm-
about to
no,
explain
what
that.
saying
I'm asking.
is
I'm asking. I'm
Ryan
not telling
Reynolds
you.
starts distorting and twisting, and it eats Ryan Reynolds.
Okay.
And then it keeps probing around the room. We can let the fire thing go out, and it keeps
Okay.
probing around the room. And then it starts frying apart the room because we've already established that it's all muscle,
Right.
and it's all brain, and it's all
Right,
eye.
right.
They're like, okay, these are the protocols. He doesn't get out. He's locked in that room.
Right.
It starts ripping apart the room,
Right.
only to discover that it's like a solid room. Like
Right.
it's like a box inside of a box with a door.
Sure.
And then it goes back and it starts dismantling the room. It's like feeling on the walls and it feels like it's a screw. So it starts unscrewing the screw.
Okay.
So our characters basically have to watch as they think it's like, and that'd be like the premise for the whole movie. They have to watch as they think they've secured it, they think they've trapped it, and it logically figures a way out. It's getting smarter all the
I
time.
like that.
Yeah.
And it uses like, and we'll even have a throwback scene to where it pulls a part of the wall off into itself, and it digests that part of the wall.
Sure.
And then it's like I said, by the end they're fighting this amorphous blob that manufactures limbs to do specific things.
Yeah.
So it digests a part of the metal wall. It's feeling around using its flesh to like unscrew things, and then you have a makeshift primitive screwdriver come out that's made of metal, almost like the Liquid Terminator.
Yeah, that's what you're doing.
It's slightly organic.
Yeah, it
too.
sounds a lot
it's
like
it's
the-
like back
the
and
T1000.
forth like that. Yeah, it's like
Sounds
back and
a
forth
lot
like
like
that.
the T1000,
Yeah.
but that's okay. I love the T1000.
Yeah, and
And I'll never
it
see that actor
systematically-
as anything else.
Yeah, it systematically keeps doing that, and our big finish is that as it's doing that, we've still got the samples. We can have like the heroic death. They trap it into an escape pod.
Right.
And as it's going down, they open the escape pod so the whole thing will burn up because most things can't survive re-entry.
Right.
It doesn't. Our closing scene is like you said, people come back to the space station to discover it,
Right.
and we have our part two.
Yeah.
Like basically, my monster is as intelligent as they give it. Like when it breaks out, it's tiny, but it brings the probe with it because it's a tool.
Right.
It,
No, I
it,
got
it basically it's like an organic, multi-purpose tool.
I like
and
it.
that's what it does, so it can survive. We
I
have
like
we have our moments. They try to lure it, and it doesn't work.
It's smart.
Like they try to lure it around the ship, with the oxygen things.
candle.
It squirts out a limb,
Yeah.
slaps the person away, takes the thing, and stays where it's at.
Are you going to keep the oxygen candles?
I can for the fun of you get that hope
Yeah.
because they think they're dealing with.
I didn't
animals,
like them,
they're
but I
doing
would keep them
everything
too.
they can. Yeah,
I didn't like them, but I would keep them too.
yeah. I like that thing, but it would be kind of like fuck you. I know what you're trying to do.
Yeah. Yeah, like I scoffed
know?
at it when I first
Yeah.
saw it, but I think I would keep it. As
Yeah.
weird as that
Like
sounds. I didn't
my
like
monster-
it, but I think I would keep
That
it.
monster gets bigger and more utilitarian because it's just trying to survive. Like it would literally digest and dismantle that room simultaneously to get out, and they'd be like, "Oh fuck, okay, well let's try to isolate it over here." Like the little things they do work a little bit, but they're never winning. They're just one step ahead
Right.
because they know the space station. It's learning the space station, and by then they, like I said, they do what they can. They wind up half defeating it because fire kind of kills everything and falling through an atmosphere
Yeah, of
will
course
kill
it
it.
does. Yeah.
But we have our research crew to go see what happened,
Of
and
course.
the first thing they do is we need to protect these samples
Right.
and fuck the rest of the space station.
Right,
Let's bring
right.
these home. Let's bring these somewhere.
Right.
As the audience watching the sequel, holy shit!
Right.
All hell's about to break loose.
I gotcha.
Part of Earth is going to get nuked to try to kill this thing.
Correct.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And for me, I really love the music at the end because it was really good. At the end of the actual movie, because
You mean the anthem, or do you mean?
no, I mean the
Spirit of the
I mean the horrible droning. Everything is completely fucked up now
Yeah.
with music.
Oh,
Skip the Spirit in the Sky
the
over the
score.
credits. Yeah,
The
yeah, the
score.
score.
No,
The score was
I like the
fantastic.
score.
Yeah.
No, the
the
score
score was good.
The score
And
was
I
good.
love-
I thought the
I
Spirit
love
of the
that,
Spy was a
like
little misplaced, but
that little bit
it's
of
okay.
80s synth pop is coming back because that's what it was. That was so
Ever
Yeah.
since Stranger
that was
Things.
so great.
Ever since Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Film Ride.
That-
released
that-
a new,
that's-
new 80s synth pop
Yeah.
sound pack.
Yeah, that's like
Just
my
recently.
that's my basic rewrite because that would be a really good movie. Okay, that worked. Fuck, that won't work again.
Yeah, yeah.
And our part, the part we control the space station keeps getting smaller. This is what we got to do. Yeah.
Credits. Love it.
Yeah.
Well, we went around the horn a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what do we think? Good movie? Bad movie?
So okay. It's a rental for me.
Yeah. Steven?
Yeah, like kind of rental.
Joel?
I would, if I hadn't seen it in theaters, I would rent it once and never again.
Rachel?
Meh.
Yeah. If it
Down to you, me. Some guy named John.
it will be on the Sci-Fi Channel soon enough, and if you got something to do, it's okay to throw on in the background because the acting is pretty good.
Yeah.
I think it's good
Yeah.
to watch after Sharknado 9 or whenever the next one will be.
Yeah, all the Sharknado movies
But
are better than this.
I mean, I would say this is a rental, not in the theater.
Yeah,
I think it's a waste of money to see in the theater.
Actually, no. Get
Yeah.
somebody who missed it in the theaters to pay for the rental.
Yeah, if you miss it in the theater,
That's it,
don't
yeah.
worry, you'll
Yeah.
catch it on Netflix
Yeah.
or Sci-Fi Channel. But honestly, I wouldn't edit the theatrical version any more than it's already been edited to hell. So
it's-
I would just watch
yeah.
it on Netflix or something.
Yeah.
But for me, it's kind of subpar. It wasn't really a horror movie. It wasn't really a sci-fi movie. The thrills, as a thriller, weren't that thrilling. So
Yeah,
for me, I'd say
there's-
subpar. I'd say, yeah, if you're bored, Saturday afternoon, put it on. But I think that's what it's good for.
Yeah, there's really nothing. There's really nothing.
There's nothing redeeming about it.
There's nothing
I
new.
think-
There's nothing. There's no holy shit. There's one holy shit moment that kind of ruins the rest of the movie.
Yeah, and
You're like, oh, that's fucking awesome. Oh, that never
and that's
happens
it.
again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm saying, Saturday afternoon, you got nothing to do. You got 90
Yeah.
minutes, minus the
Yeah.
credits.
Yeah.
Yeah, throw it on. But it's rainy day afternoon. You got nothing better to do. Right?
Want to torture your hemophobic friends?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But for me, that's all I got.
We want to call it and get these people back to their cat videos.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Those cat videos ain't gonna watch themselves.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. This is the end of Some Guy and John.
Some guy and John.
Life.